already. And yesterday we reported on a 10-point plan, and I'm told by a U.S. official that that was actually an old plan that the Iranians put out because they wanted people to talk about it and try to put their perspective forward. And so we are correcting that today, and we spoke with...
Wait, stop scrolling. Did you catch the moment the media finally had to admit they were dead wrong? After 36 hours of pushing a fake narrative, the retractions are finally hitting the airwaves. This isn't just a mistake, it's a total collapse of the 10-point plan hoax. You need to see exactly how they tried to spin this before the truth came out.
U.S. officials yesterday who said that is not the latest plan. There is an updated plan that the president agreed to, and despite these efforts by the Iranian regime to try to spin negotiators, this will be incredibly consequential this weekend to see whether or not they are serious about...
It's actually wild to watch them backtrack in real time. Look at the phrasing they use, calling it a legitimate misunderstanding, when they were actually just circulating an old Iranian regime wish list. This anchor is basically admitting that their U.S. officials' sources were either out of the loop or intentionally feeding them garbage to discredit the peace process. If you were watching the news yesterday, you were being lied to. It's a surgical strike on public perception that backfired. Notice how they try to play it off as clarifying the news rather than a massive failure in journalism. They knew the 10-point plan was fake, but they ran it anyway because it made the administration look like it was capitulating. Now that the actual deal involves turning over enriched uranium and stopping proxy funding, they have nowhere to hide. Keep an eye on how the other outlets follow suit. This is a massive win for the negotiators in Islamabad.
Their military. Yesterday, Vice President J.D. Vance issuing another warning to the Iranian regime at the negotiating table.
But fundamentally, the Iranians have got to take the next step, or the president has a lot of options to go back to the...
Check out J.D. Vance's posture here. This isn't the typical wait-and-see diplomacy we've seen for decades. He's laying it out as a binary choice for the Iranian regime. Either they take the next step at the table, or the president goes back to the war options. It's high-stakes poker, and Vance is playing the heavy. Did you notice he doesn't blink once during that warning? That's intentional. He's signaling that the U.S. military isn't just in the area. They are in place and ready for lethal prosecution. That specific phrase from the social media update is key. Most people miss the fact that the U.S. ships and aircraft aren't moving an inch until that deal is inked and consummated. They are effectively blockading the leverage while they negotiate. It's a classic carrot-and-stick approach, but the stick is a full carrier strike group sitting right off the coast.
The Iranians thought that the ceasefire included Lebanon, and it just didn't. We never made that promise. We never indicated that was going to be the case. What we said is that the ceasefire would be focused on Iran, and the ceasefire would be focused on America's allies, both Israel and the Gulf Arab states. Fundamentally, we're on the right track. We got a lot more to do. We got a lot more that the Iranians are going to have to accept as part of this negotiation, but I think we've got a strong hand and we're going to play it well.
This is the part that's making everyone's head spin. Vance is drawing a massive line in the sand between Iran and Hezbollah. Look at how he explains the legitimate misunderstanding. He's basically telling Iran that their Lebanese proxies aren't covered by this umbrella. If Israel decides to keep the pressure on Lebanon, the U.S. isn't going to stop them as part of this specific ceasefire. This effectively strips Iran of their biggest bargaining tool. They thought they could bundle their proxies into the deal to get a total regional freeze, but Vance just nuked that strategy. You can see the logic. The U.S. is focused on American allies and the Gulf Arab states, not protecting Hezbollah. It's a brilliant tactical move because it forces Iran to choose between their own survival and their proxy network. Most analysts missed this distinction, but it's the reason why the skies have gone quiet over Israel while the heat stays on the border. The table is set in Islamabad, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Drop a comment if you think this deal actually holds. Catch you in the next one.